What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the DingoTalk Alumni Tour, and we have a special treat for you this week. This is episode 50, and with that comes a new venture. We're branching into Zoom and coming into 2021 with everybody being virtual these days. So my first guest for the virtual Alumni Tour is going to be Nadim Raddar, class of 2016. And Nadim's going to talk about everything from his time and how he got to Bethany and what he's doing now. But without further ado, this is Nadim.
What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the 50th episode of Dingo Talk, the Alumni Tour. My guest this week is class of 2016, All-American, the Sugar Bear himself, Nadim Raddar. Nadim, thank you for being here.
Man, thanks for having me.
It's my first Zoom call ever, so, hey. I can't give you a tea through the screen, obviously, but We'll get you on the list. Next time you're here, I'll have a tea waiting for you.
No doubt.
So we're going to do this the same way we do every episode. You're going to tell us a little bit about your senior year coming into Bethany, senior year of high school, that transition, how you ended up here, and we'll go from there. So
sounds good, man.
Senior year of high school down there in Maryland.
Senior year of high school. All right. I'm going to say it like this, right? So, all right, senior year, I'm in my second year starting for varsity for football. Mm-hmm. And this is also like my third year ever playing football. I didn't grow up playing football at all. I played soccer and baseball growing up and wrestling a little bit.
Wow.
Okay, so senior year.
Soccer, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. My family's African, so
nimble. You were nimble, right on your feet.
They had to get me in soccer, So, all right. So senior year, the process of coming here after the football season. Well, let me. I can't talk about the football season without mentioning that we won the state championship. That's pretty important. Yeah, that's pretty important in the decision making of me coming to Bethany. Because at the same time, while I was being recruited, about 8 other people from my team was also committing to Bethany at the time. So the process of me coming here was they has a lot of influence in that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Comfort. You have a lot of guys that you already know that are going to be here. Yeah.
And especially, I got to say, after winning a state title, it's like, once you have that kind of connection with your teammates, mm-hmm. It's like, we're coming in with this mindset, like, yeah, we're going to change this whole program and bring the championship mentality, you know what I'm saying? To this whole school and change it completely around 180.
And there is some truth to that down the road there for the success of that, your group.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. So, here's how it happened, right? When I was getting recruited, during the off season of my senior year in high school, I decided to pick up wrestling, and it's the hardest sport I've ever played by far. Mm-hmm. So I'm in, and I hate cardio. It has a lot of cardio in it. You know what I mean? I hate it.
I'm not a fan of the cardio myself.
Dog, I hate it. And the one thing about wrestling practice or just any class in general during senior year was you had a lot of recruits coming and try to talk to you. So during that time, we were doing conditioning, and I got saved by Bethany by Coach Waters. He unfortunately wasn't here for a long time after that period, but he saved me and a bunch of other people from class. And I was like, thank God, I didn't want to run 3 miles, bro. Straight up saved me out of practice. So after that, he gave us a whole spiel about Bethany and what we could possibly do. Potentially, and I loved it. I liked what I was hearing, so we all decided to go at the same time, and it was fun. My freshman year at Bethany was pretty interesting. A lot of good stories with my good men from school.
Well, and so you made a decision to come to Bethany with, if I'm hearing this right, you didn't visit though. This was all based on conversations.
Oh no. We did. Oh, my fault. I forgot. We did do a visit.
Okay.
I knew what I was getting into. I know a lot of people don't really know what they're getting into when they.
You got the idea. Small town, small community.
Yeah, I knew.
Not really a lot around.
Yeah, to be honest, it's my type of. Well, at the time, I was thinking, yeah, this is my type of thing because I was kind of scared to go to a big university. I mean, as a student,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Academia wise, like as an athlete, of course I want to go to a big school, but I saw the upside with going to a smaller school, seeing that I can make a better connection with my, professors and stuff like that. So, Darren, you want me to talk about my night visit or what?
No. We don't have to go down. We don't go down those roads. We don't tell those stories.
Nah, bro. Going crazy or nothing.
So, senior year, you win a state title. You're now here at camp. Talk about your Bethany experience, the football team experience, because that's still under Weaver, correct?
Correct.
So that's Coach Weaver. Jacoby Watkins is here. Waters is here. I mean, that's the developing of Coach Weaver's going to leave, but Watkins kind of harbored you guys as a defense. I mean, he built you from the bottom up. And so what was it like going from a state champion to a Bethany team that I believe was coming off of a back-to-back 500 seasons? I mean,
it was terrible. Bro, it sucked. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, because let me put it in let me widen the perspective. So my high school was very good. Like I lost a total of 2 games my whole entire time while I played high school football. So like we went undefeated my senior season and won the states. Like that's the most perfect thing you can possibly ask for.
That's what you're asking for as
it's amazing. So, yeah. I mean, in a way, I was kind of spoiled with having that experience and going into college. I mean, but it didn't completely like take away my motivation or whatever. I can't say the same for my other colleagues that came with me. I mean, they kind of like, it hit them hard. Let me just say that. Yeah. And I mean, for me too, I mean, I did hit a low, like while I was there, because it's hard to go in and expect to, start immediately and make a big impact. Because especially when the person that recruited you left, like Coach Water left as soon as I got there or we got there. Yeah. So like my guy that gave me all these hope and dreams and stuff like that.
And had watched the tape on you, knew the athlete he was getting.
He knew me. Like, I think he would have started me or something like that. My freshman year in college. I truly think so. And I would have had better stats, but that's another topic. So what was the question?
So your freshman year, you said it wasn't what you expected it to be. It was rough.
Right. Dude, okay. So like freshman year, of course it was tough, especially since I played JV. I wasn't on varsity. It was mad tough because it was so many, like you think, oh, it's D3. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when you have a lot of confidence and you're going to a D3 school, sometimes they can hit you sideways because I mean, I'm not saying I was overconfident, but I came in thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna start because I was getting recruited by so-and-so. Yeah. And so-and-so told me this. So yeah, I'm gonna come in and be that guy. And I wasn't. I mean, obviously like all the seniors that were, playing at my position started and I played in JV. I mean, at one point I was second string during training camp, and Coach Boscat, if he's watching this, I don't even know what to say. Coach Boscat decided to bench me and put me down all the way down to fifth string based off one play. And it's because of read option. Like the DN is the most important person during read option. And I fell and I followed the quarterback at that time. No. I'm sorry. I got mixed up. I followed the running back at that time. The quarterback pulled out. And that's like a huge no-no. You're supposed to stay squared, stay in your place. And yeah. And after that, I was in second string and I was down to JV.
So freshman year doesn't go, but it's a building block for you.
Yeah, for sure.
You come in sophomore year, football gets a little better.
I come in sophomore year as a D tackle, and it's not necessarily my position, but I did okay. And I got very minimal playing time. I probably recorded 1 sack the whole season. So it was all right.
So along with the football thing, you brought up that going to a big school academically scared you. What were the benefits that you saw when you got to Bethany academically for you that fit you, the student, that helped you kind of get through the classes you needed to get through?
Oh, just the fact that you can get, personal with your professors is the main thing. I mean, everybody knows that, like, I have my professors like by contact in my phone still to this day. So, and you can use them as a reference, which I did. And that, to me, that was the coolest thing.
Now, did you utilize the Learning Center? Did you utilize Heather Taylor and her staff and the Miss Chris over in the other side of the Learning Center, in the McCann Center, or were you more of a library and lab guy?
I was more library.
Library and late night lab hits.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a 100% late night study guy.
So you graduate with a comm degree.
Yes, sir.
On the other side of that, we go away from the academics and to the social side of it. You are a brother of Alpha Sigma Phi. And I'm going to give you the opportunity, because there's a bison that sits up there when you come to the entrance of Greek Hill.
We're going to talk about this early?
We're going right into it. I wasn't even, I warmed you up. You got to talk about, now you're going to tell the story.
All right.
So there's a bison, the entrance of the rec center.
Yes, there is.
At one time, that bison was in the backyard of Alpha Sig up there on Greek Hill, and it was taken from across the street at Sigma Nu. You now have I have painted a picture. You tell the story.
Right. So apparently, this bison was apparently whoever's property it was, it was there, and it's not just me. We made the conscious decision to take it from one place to another.
Wait. For my fellow Alpha Sigs out there, I don't know when we started speaking French.
Oh.
I don't speak French.
Oui.
Okay.
I'm talking French, bro.
Okay.
This is a collective. All right. So let me tell you, the whole story, bro, for everybody that doesn't know. So, and I wish we could pull up like photos like that we're talking. That'd be like, I talked to B Hill about it, and he said he lost a photo.
He doesn't. He was the only one that had the
only one.
I know.
All right, so where do I start? Okay, all right. So
it took 6 of you to get it up to the hill, and it took 20 of us to get it back.
Let's put it in proper context. So we've been eyeing this bison, the same bison that you see in front of the rec center. It's been in somebody's backyard just chilling, and the house looks completely like, not working. So we were, and I'm gonna say we because we were just talking about it, and for months now, like we were kind of just like, yo, what if we took that bison? Like, we just want to check out the bison, whatever. And so it was one night. I think it was
it was just a Saturday night. I don't know why.
No, it wasn't just a Saturday night. It was I think we were.
Were we having a mixer, or it was a Big Little?
Big Little. I think it was Big Little.
Okay.
Because people were obliterated. I know that for a fact. So here's what happened, right? I wasn't part of the plan. I was just going to chill and, watch the bison come up. But I'm not going to name him. But Brother Bone. Brother Bone, he wanted to drive the truck. And shout out to Lainey for letting us borrow that truck. He wanted to drive the truck, and I saw the current state that he was in, and I didn't allow it to happen. I said, like, bro, like, you're not driving. Like, I don't care. Like, you're not gonna, like, that was completely stupid. And I wasn't like at all intoxicated. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take the L for the team. This, you know what I'm saying? So I did that, and it was 6 of us, and we went to the backyard, which we were scheming on for a long time. And we thought it was like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Was it late?
I have it from a very valid source that lives near this house, who said it's impressive how quiet that this event took place.
Oh yeah,
and they were in and out. Now, so let's fast forward. So you guys get it onto the truck.
So we got this 3,000-pound bison on a truck. Yo, that thing is heavier than it looks. I mean, I know it looks heavy, but it is much heavier than it looks.
Well, because didn't we all think it was hollow at first? It's not
I don't know
hollow.
what we thought it was. I wasn't part of that thought process.
Not hollow.
I don't know what it was, but yo, I had to get out because normally I wasn't going to help. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna just drive and bring this truck back for y'all so y'all can enjoy this thing. And I'm a peace out and go to my room and chill. And lo and behold, as soon as we pull up with the bison in front of Alpha Sig, whoop, whoop, and then I had to get out and I had to act like, first off, everybody dipped out. Before that, we got the bison out and we took it to the backyard of Alpha Sig so everybody can enjoy and take photos. Meanwhile, I'm in the parking lot talking to the cops and I'm telling them that it's not my truck. So they're like, yo, you have to go get the truck owner or the car owner or whatever. And so we could talk to him. I'm like, yes, sir. What I did was
Step out over the back hill.
Bro, I sprinted down. Bro, I never sprinted down a hill so fast. You would have thought I was doing conditioning at practice or something, bro. Like I definitely I took off and I think they saw me take off. So they were chasing me down the hill too. And
no. Listen, Nadim, they went into your room and you weren't there. They found your ID and your driver's license and said,
well,
you and Brother Bone were you and Brother Bone were the only two that had to go turn yourselves in as opposed to paying a huge fine.
I couldn't tell you that part of the story. I was gone. I didn't even look back until I got to the top of CB Hill and I saw them chasing. I was gone. I dipped out. Long story short, we did that, man. We took that bison and we put it in our backyard, and I think it was the most impressive thing that we done that year.
So I'm trying. Wow, that is. I mean, it was a great time. Talk about. We got about a minute left.
In hindsight,
we're gonna wrap up. In hindsight, it's funny. We didn't damage anything. It was returned to where it was supposed to be. It was all in good fun, which was pretty much what Greek life was.
Oh yeah. For sure.
So the summer going into your junior year, you stayed here and worked.
Yes, sir.
Did that benefit you, getting into the weight room, doing the one-on-one reps with Barnes and Pierce and the other guys that were staying on campus? Was that
Man, you already know how that went, man, because at the same time, while it's your work, I'm doing work study and taking summer classes. At the same time, it's not that many people on campus, so I had nothing to do but work on my craft. You know what I'm saying? So it did a great deal, and it did benefit me, obviously, with the accolades that I got. I don't think I would have got that if I didn't stay that summer.
Well, and that's a great place to point up. I think that's a good spot to stop. We're going to send it to our other fraternity brother, Kieran Dunn, KJ, Maple Shades Outdoors. When we come back, we're going to talk to you about those accolades and move on into some of what you're doing now and comps and all the other good stuff. But Maple Shades Outdoors,
right?
We want to send it to, if you haven't yet, follow on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. It's Maple Shade Outdoors. But without further ado, go ahead, KJ, take it away.
What's going on, everybody? This is Kieran Dunn, founder of Maple Shade Outdoors. You're currently watching Dingo Talk with my man Carlo. If you're anything like me and you're really enjoying this content, you should like and subscribe his page. While you're on YouTube, you should probably just head over and like and subscribe Maple Shade Outdoors. Check out our page, enjoy some videos, some outdoor content. You might as well hop on Instagram, Facebook, follow us, Maple Shade Outdoors. Now that's enough about me. I'm trying to get back and watch the rest of Dingo Talk, so I'll talk to y'all later.
What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guardino. This is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. My guest is Nadim Raddar. As I pointed out in the first segment, he was the sugar bear. We talked about that. We talked about a little bit of his, the transition of coming to Bethany and realizing there's a little bit of a difference in the program that he came from to where he got. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of a turn in the program. This is your second year under old coach Bill Garvey. This was right because his first year didn't go great, but a lot of close games. Your junior year, You stay here all summer. You talked about it in the at the end of the last segment where you said if you don't stay that summer, the accolades. And I pointed out, man's an All-American. He was co-defensive player of the year. Go ahead, Nadim. So let's talk about junior year.
You want to talk about that summer?
Let's talk about the summer, some of the workouts, and then we'll go into the season.
Man, okay, that summer is super important. Just not just because of the accolades or just the football, but that summer, I grew up as like a man, and because I just developed the mentality of achieving something. I had my mindset on becoming an All-American during that entire summer. Like, that's the first time I feel like I manifested something. You know what I'm saying? Like every workout I would do, it was like, oh yeah, what would an All-American do? Like,
and that's the goal in mind. I'm going to keep grabbing for it until I have.
Seriously, it was kind of like that Mamba mentality. It's kind of what I had in mind, but I kind of twisted and made it my own. Like, yeah, what would an All-American do? That's what I did the entire summer. Which, I mean, if you spent the summer at Bethany, you already know is nothing to do. Ain't shit to do except work out. And
you better be mentally strong if you're going to do it.
Oh, what? You better be mentally strong than the motherfucker. Oops, I don't know if I can say that. But anyways.
It happens. It's part of the show. We adults.
Yeah, bro. All right. So senior year, you want me to talk about the season?
Well, that was your junior year, wasn't it?
That was my junior year.
Your All-American year is your junior year where you go through the workouts. Now, I know, you got Ethan Barnes that was coming back from an injury, so he got a lot of reps with you. You had Pierce that was back. He stayed that summer. He got a lot of reps. I mean, there was a lot of inside that rec center, out there on the turf, in the weight room. A lot of the football players that produced that next season, kind of the core of them were there all summer long.
That was the commitment that we had because we knew our potential. Like, seriously, that class, like, it was different. Our class is really different, and we proved that on paper, on the field, and everything. Like, and let me be very clear, Pierce, like the people you just named, Pierce, Barnes, we got Larry. They were all a huge part of, not just me, man, just the team.
You even had. And I'm gonna bring a name out from the past. Ricky Clark was here that summer.
Ricky Clark.
If you Dawkins was here that summer. I mean, you had a lot of people that contributed to that team. And let's get into that season. So I was with you guys all summer long for the workouts because I was here working. I was there for camp. That was when we did the inside the Bison football team. Yeah. It was a different team. It was a new quarterback. McRamart had graduated, but you had Blinn, and the defense that was Glizzy, Wiz, Dion, Fry. I mean,
dogs. Man.
That's just the back end of the. And then you go to the linebackers with Glizzy and Larry and I don't know, was Stu in that grouping as well, and Berg. I mean, the defense, and then you get to the defensive line. You got Pierce. You had Bubba, you had guys that were ready to play. They were going to keep the game close. Walk us through junior year. We'll get all the way to give us a quick synopsis up until Case Western, and then I want to talk to you about Case Western.
Okay, so coming into training camp I never felt more ready in my life. Like, honestly, I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'm not even trying to play no damn scrimmage. Like, I'm trying to go straight into week one. So that was kind of my mentality. And also the most important thing that was on my mind the whole entire season was just staying healthy, because I knew I could get the numbers that I wanted. In my head, here's my goal. I wanted to get at least 2 sacks a game, and that would amount to 20. So, and I thought that was like very possible based off what I do in practice. I'm like, I'm almost getting there every other play in practice. So like, I could get 20 sacks in the game, which is the school record in the season. So that was my mentality. Like, I thought it was very possible. And so first, as far as me, right? First 4 games were the most important, because that's what everybody is in, like the analyst or people that, do the articles or whatever, whoever is judging for accolades, they pay attention to the first 4 or 5 games, like half of the season, basically. So up until, I don't know whatever the 4th game was, but the first 3 games, I had 8 sacks, which is a ridiculous stat Like if you think about it, bro,
And that wasn't.
ridiculous.
That's a year of Mount Union. That's a year of who was the other one opposite of Mount Union, or was that when you guys had gone into it was Mount Union and then like Teal or Waynesburg or somebody like in that weird second week?
Man, I can't think right now.
But the Mount Union game alone is enough to say. I mean, that you weren't going against 8 sacks in 4 games. It wasn't the slouch teams.
Not at all. I mean, these were teams that I couldn't tell you. I think we had a good record at that point.
So that was started 3-1, I believe.
I think, yeah, and our only loss was Mount Union. So that's very important, especially when it comes to accolades. They do pay close amount of attention to how your team's doing. A prime example of that is my senior year. I'm just fast forwarding a little bit. So senior year, I had the same amount of sacks as junior year, but I didn't make All-American because we started out shitty.
Yeah.
So let's just say that.
So we get to the Case Western game.
Yeah.
That was a fun bus ride. I got pegged to do the radio call on that one, and you know, the Case unfortunately had gone through some injuries, and there was a young team, and it came out up in the press box early. When it came out, I don't know if they had told you guys down on the field, but it came out up in the press box that they're starting a freshman tackle for the first time. And the first series, this freshman tackle gets thrown twice. Once by Pierce, once by Nadim. Pierce threw him upfield, made a nice move inside. And I'm only remembering this because I had to go back and watch some film to make sure this was a specific thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
So the next play, they moved this kid to the other side, and all you did was hit him with a club, and he tackled the quarterback for you. You basically you got the sack for being in the area. The kid made the tackle for you, and that's I don't think that's disrespectful to you. I think that's just pointing out where you were at that point in the season. There's a bow to the sideline at Case Western. Come back out on a defensive series, and there's another sack that comes. I think it was maybe your third of the game at that point, where you basically simulate hitting a home run after you made the sack. I know that you and Coach Watkins had a conversation at halftime. So walk us through that play. Is it your favorite play? And what did Coach Watkins have to say about your celebration after?
So the celebration, all right. So I'm a big Red Washington football fan. And
football team.
And in that was around what, 2013, 2014?
2014, right? 2015 would have been.
Something like that.
Somewhere
But Alfred Morris was our running back, and his celebration was, you know what I'm saying, like swinging a home run. And me as a fan, I just wanted to emulate that and experience that, and I did it. But it was real quick. It wasn't like I was here at batter. It wasn't like all of that. It was just like first off, the reason I did it was because the sack was ridiculous, bro. So here's how the play was, right? How it is I had a tackle on me, and then I have a tight end. And we were coached to line head up on the tight end. Wait, was it a tight end? I'm tripping.
I think it was a Titan tackle.
I forget. But all I know is I got blocked 3 different times and still managed to find a way to the quarterback. And to me personally, that was amazing. And I thought I wanted to celebrate that experience. And I did a little home run. You feel me? Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, RIP.
So, Coach Watkins, what did he have to say to you?
So first off, I posted on IG not too long ago that play. And you could hear in the audio, I think it was Coach Garvey and Coach Boscat, Nadim, get your ass over here. And and that was just a funny moment for me, not at the time, but hindsight. And in the locker room, though, so we get to sitting down as a defense, and Coach Watkins looks dead at me. The first thing he says, Nadim, you do that shit again, and you're out of the team, or something like that, or I'm going to bench you, or whatever. And, I took it seriously because, like, he doesn't normally, like, I mean, he will pierce into you, but, like, at the same time, like, he's a dude that you don't want to mess around with. Like, that's the type of respect that he had. So I said, all right, you got it, man. And I didn't celebrate the rest of the season.
So how many sacks did you finish with for that junior year?
So you know this, but I had 12 and a half sacks. Should have had more, but you know what I'm saying? For those people that be piling on the sacks just to get that number, I hate you. I could have had I hate you. I could have had 13, 14, man. Come on, bro.
All them half of sacks, man. So, we talk about Case. There were a couple other big games throughout the season, but the biggest game for the program and for your class, getting the program to that game, would have to be the bowl game against Stevenson. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about how did that go from the playing standpoint. I mean, you're there, you're at a bowl game. The game didn't go well. What was the difference between the two teams, if you remember?
Look, man, that was an exciting moment because Stevenson is in my home state. And that was also a college that I was getting recruited to before I got to Bethany. And I even went up to the coach afterwards and said, what's up? And also it was the first time that my family got to come and see my games because my family's from Maryland. And, 5-hour drive to Bethany, 5+ hours. So it was exciting to see. And also I know I have a lot of, not a lot, but I had a couple people on the Stevenson team that I knew as well from my high school. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was just a time to not only prove myself to Stevenson, but just prove myself to my family, show them how good I am. Like I was excited to show that because they never really got to see me play at that level. And it was great. It was a great experience having a bowl game. First time in 30-some years?
I believe so.
Man, I'm telling you, it was cool. So the bowl game, we got ass kicked.
It was just a better team, right? It wasn't anything you guys. They just
Maryland people because I think what Stevenson did, they recruited primarily from Maryland. I think so. And Maryland talent is very slept on and underrated. They had a lot of talent. I'm gonna tell you straight up, bro. They had a lot of talent.
So we move on to the off season. You spend a night in a hotel in, I believe, East Rutherford, New Jersey, for the ceremony to be the first team All-American. Your co-defensive player of the year, and for the Bethany side of it, you are honing in on the career sack record. I mean, you're up there in the ranking number wise for that. So you become an All-American, you get the co-defensive player of the year. Is there a lot of pressure on you coming into your senior year?
For myself, yeah.
That's what I mean. Internal pressure.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Internal pressure, like, of course. Like, I have a lot of things I'm thinking about. Like, damn, I need to make sure that I prove myself and make people know that I'm not a fluke. But I mean, I don't know. Looking back at it, I'm like, damn, why was I even overthinking like that? Like, I knew I was that good. But it kind of showed, honestly, the first three, like I said before, first 3-4 games are most important. And it kind of showed in my first 3-4 games because I wasn't playing the same way. I didn't have the same numbers. But I mean, I did have a pick-me-up. I forgot at what point. But senior year, basically, yeah, it was just a thing. It was a moment for myself to for confirmation. I just wanted to, I wanted to run it back.
So we got 2 stories to wrap up your Bethany career, and then we'll move to what you're doing now.
Okay.
First one, football ends. We get to, I think it was February, and we take a nice long drive to Atlanta. Why did we go to Atlanta? Larry was with us, and Barnes was with us. Chambers got robbed that weekend. We all packed up and came.
Yeah.
Remember that? We all came back as soon as all the shit was done. We were like, "Yeah, we're coming back to Bethany."
Yeah. Like, who the hell will Rob Chambers, bro? Like,
the nerve of some people. You know what I mean?
Gotta be a real asshole.
That's what I'm saying.
The story was he was drunk and he was trying to get some chips.
Yeah, no, that's how they caught him. He led them back because he broke a bag. He stole a 12-pack of Pepsi and a bag of chips, and the Pepsi broke, and the cops literally followed the trail of pop cans to Cochran, to his room.
Fucking dumbass, bro.
Like, so we went to Atlanta so that you, Barnes, and Larry could. It was a CFL tryout. And in your experience, and I talked to Barnes about, I had him on the show, but we didn't really talk about this. I know you have a very strong opinion of what those tryouts really are.
Yeah.
So do you want to kind of share that?
So, man. All right. Well, the opportunity to go was very cool. It was the first time that I feel like this is it. I mean, all or nothing. You know what I mean? I had a lot of me pressuring myself to perform at the best of my ability. So it was, in that sense, challenging. But then just, picking up on a lot of red flags. Like, I overthink sometimes, but a lot of times that shit is true. Like,
your intuition never led you wrong.
Never. Maybe sometimes. But
once or twice.
At that time, man, it was just a lot of sketchy activity from the very beginning where we had to pay our money. It was $100 fee for everybody, and I didn't have the amount of cash that I needed. So what I did was I had to go out of my way to find an ATM somewhere in Atlanta in some random shopping center.
We ran around downtown for 20 minutes trying to find an ATM.
Went all the way back just for the guy at the line to not even count my money and just threw it in the box. And I said, I was like, okay, whatever. I did what I had to do because I don't know. There was a red flag, but I put it in the back of my head because I wasn't really focused on. I wasn't trying to cause a scene, obviously. So what I did was, I kept it going. I kept I kept stretching. I kept just getting prepared to just perform, and so a lot of things that were going through my mind was, you look at me as an athlete and you don't really see defensive end, and that was kind of an insecurity I had, getting recruited to colleges, because I feel like that was a lot of turning points. Colleges would recruit me based off, film and stuff like, or whatever. And they would come meet me in person, and then I would never hear from them again because I'm severely undersized for my position. I think average height for a DN at the time was like 6'3", and average weight was like 280, maybe 2. The game has changed now. Now you're seeing 6 foot DNs, and they're like.
But at that point, you're looking at what? You're 6 foot 240 at that time.
What, during the CFL?
Yeah, this at the tryout.
Yeah, exactly. I probably I was running that, and this is before, like I said, the body types that were dominant at the DN position, especially CFL, when you have to be like, it's more fast paced, I guess you could say. Would you agree? Yeah, it's more fast paced.
It's a passing league.
Exactly.
It's a passing league. You're in rush all the time.
Exactly. So in my head, I'm looking at everybody, all my competition, and very few are kind of built like me. They're kind of just like, they look like whatever position. I'm like, what are you, bro? Like, what are you here for, bro? Like, oh yeah, I'm playing DM. I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh,
all right, cool.
Excuse me.
And they're like 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So, but I did my thing though. So a very proud moment I had that I always talk about. They had this one tackle from Texas A&M that they were recruiting, or whatever, but you can just tell, like, you can tell who was the favorite at that tryout. You could tell who
they were there to see.
Yeah, they're by their side the whole entire time, looking with the clipboard, like, yeah, this guy's doing this and that. So I'm going up with against this guy one-on-one. First, I went up against him twice. The first time, I just did a bull rush. It was like, all right, whatever. I got pressure, but I didn't get to the point.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, I beat him up the line. You know what I'm saying? And I get there, and it was crazy. It was quick. And instead of them going up to me and saying, "Oh, a good job," they went up to him like, "Hey, man, what happened there?" You know what I'm saying? So right then, that was another red flag. I said, "Yo, this isn't something that I really like."
So, and that was the only tryout that you went to for those reasons, is you saw them as a little bit. They're not scam. I mean, you can get yourself out there that way.
Man, that was big scam energy going on over there in Atlanta.
The way they charged, the way they treated everybody, there was like 3 or 4 guys that they were there to see, and the rest of you were there for them to put the whole thing on.
Because I wasn't even supposed to. I wasn't recruited to go there. I wasn't invited initially. It was Ethan that was invited. He got a letter or an email, and I said, "Hey, is it cool if I come along?" So, but they didn't even talk to him afterwards, and I know he was doing this thing too. So that kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, "No, Ethan is like he's the text, like when you talk about like what you want on paper." That's him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he might have maybe needed a little bit more weight, but you could put that on. That's not a...
What's weight, bro? Come on.
On that frame? Jesus.
Ridiculous. But it's not just me. It's not just Ethan. It's not just whoever. I talked to people that went there afterwards, Jalen Holmes, and he said the same thing.
Same thing. It's almost a bait and trap move.
It's a fundraiser for them.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's kind of the end of football. Organized football.
Yeah.
Organized tackle football, I guess I should say, because you, like so many of the retired athletes and football players, flag football is everywhere, and I see you out there. But
oh, yeah, I'm killing him.
So you come back, we're here. Comps. Comps.
Yep.
So the week of studying for comps, how'd you feel?
Just the same way as everybody else, nervous, anxious. You know, it's kind of like, man, it's like, this is it. If you don't pass, you don't graduate, bro. You know how much pressure that is?
And you know. I know what you were going through, because you know what I was going through, because we were sitting in the same room for 12, 14 hours a day.
He was there. Oh, and man, it was nerve-wracking, and at the same time, I was taking 19 credits that semester.
One of those being a lit class.
Yikes.
Yeah. But we won't go into that.
Let's go into it.
No. That's for another show.
All right, bet.
Maybe that story one day will come out, but right now is not that time.
All right.
So Monday morning, first day of writtens, you open your little packet. What's your reaction?
I'm thinking, okay, I know most of this stuff. I think I studied a good amount, and I mean, they say even if you don't know it, still fill it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. My issue with that is, okay, so you have the written and you have the spoken. What do they call it again? Orals.
Spoken. It's the same thing.
Sorry.
Layman terms, spoken.
So the orals, right? Orals come, and my only issue was that they're asking me stuff that I got wrong. They're asking me about what I got wrong. And in my head, I'm like, well, I thought I got it right. So how are you going to tell me that I'm supposed to know it now? I didn't know it was wrong at the time. You know what I mean? The only issue I had.
And the other thing I almost glazed over, it just popped into my head now thinking about the other things we went through. You and I presented our senior projects with like 102 temperatures, dying from the Bethany plague 2 weeks before we took comps. You remember that?
Yeah.
Whew.
I don't even think I did it. Did I?
Well, yeah, I remember Emmy made we came in at the very end. We were the last day.
Yeah.
It was the only thing we had to show up to because we weren't supposed to be in class. And we showed up, and between the two of us, I think we put a permanent like handprints into the podium because it was like, this is all I got. This is what I did. Let's get through this.
Dude, I tell you, I was quarantining for real in my dorm room.
Before quarantining was the thing.
Before it was popular, I was on for everybody. So everybody quarantine right now. Trust me, I invented that.
So you graduate from Bethany.
Yeah.
And you're now at NBC.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about what are you doing now? What is your job at NBC? What do you do? What's a day like in Nadim's life?
Okay, so I come to NBC. I think I joined late 2017, so I've been there almost 3 years. So my position, right? I had a few positions so far, but my position right now is I'm a digital operations coordinator.
Okay.
And it's a very complicated daily thing to describe for what we do on a daily basis. But to put it in perspective for the general mind, basically we work and kind of we're like in the middle of the workflow as far as getting content from one place to another. So we are in the area of like communicating, sending emails, doing troubleshooting at certain areas, or telling people to troubleshoot.
Like if there's a blackout in an area, that'll come to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or just any errors. Like if you ever seen like a little bit of degradation on your stream that you're watching for any NBC content, yeah, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna restart the, troubleshoot, or we're gonna just escalate it to whoever the power may be. And that's the best way to describe it. Currently working from home because of COVID, which is an amazing experience. I love working from home. I don't ever want to stop. It's amazing, man.
Well, so you do the troubleshooting thing, and I can remember. I don't remember. I want to say it was pre-COVID, so maybe 2019, not 2020, or maybe early 2020. There was I want to say it was a Penguin game. There was a blackout. I called Nadim. I called Katie Valone, who we'll have on the show next week. And I said, hey, NBC, you're screwing up. I'm trying to watch a Penguin game. Fix it. They both gave me the same answer. I can't just push a button and fix it. So
it's so many components. It's so many hands that go into giving you just a little bit of content. Even I'm telling you, even a 15-second promo saying that this show is next. We have to do so much for that. I'm telling you, you don't even. It's stuff that you don't even think about.
It's the little things that keep the programming going, where there could be because technology they has its faults.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the beauty of television, man. You know it. A lot of you have a lot of pieces that get put together.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah, man. And the thing is too, you also notice what goes. If one thing goes wrong, it's so noticeable. You know what I mean? You got to be on your toes at all times. So
we've come to that point. I'm not going to send it to Harry Chambers just yet. I have one more question for you.
All right.
If you were recommending, it's a two-parter. You were a D3 athlete. You went to Bethany College. Why Division III? Why Division III athletics? And why Bethany College? What would you recommend? How would you recommend Bethany College? And if you're looking at a guy who's maybe undersized or just wants to continue playing, why would you recommend not selling a Division III school short?
Well, you kind of just hit it right there. If you're undersized, under whatever, first off, self-awareness, okay? A lot of people come, man, look, people come to D3 thinking they're big shit. You got to come in, you have to have a self-awareness, like I just said, and know where you are physically and where you belong. So if you know your D2 talent, D3 talent, go for it. As far as Bethany, it's a good place to go if you want to focus on your craft, whatever it may be. If you want to focus on your academics, if you want to have a more emphasis on academics, but you also want to play sports, yeah, Bethany's perfect for that. If you just want to stand out, it's a good place to stand out and kind of establish yourself as well on the field or whatever field it is, athletic wise. So it's also a good place. If you're just serious about what you want to move forward with, whatever you're working towards, that's my number one thing as far as Bethany and D3. But like I said, if you're an athlete and you think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna come to Bethany and I'm gonna do 1 year and then I'm gonna go to the D1, bro, just stop. Because right there, like, you would have went D1 if you was D1. Like,
Well, Nadim, it's always a pleasure to get to talk to you. I mean, obviously, being in Jersey, we don't get to talk. We don't get to see each other as much, but we talk more often than not. The next time you're down here, we'll have to have you down at the house. We'll get you your tea. Same thing. You're gonna have to let Katie know she's not going to have tea tomorrow next week on her show. I can't just give it to you through the screen. Just not going to happen. But I do appreciate you being here. This has been Nadim Raddar, class of 2016. I am Carlo Guadagnino. This has been the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. And we're going to send it over to a good friend of ours, Harry Chambers. For those of you that don't understand this joke, Nadim used to charge $0.25 to take people to Chambers from Greek Hill. And let me tell you, it's not even a mile. But if you asked him, he said, "You got gas money." I used to give Nadim $0.25 beginning of every week. You're going to take me down to Chambers one time. Harry Chambers, he's got the lunch specials. He's got breakfast sandwiches, biscuits and gravy, the newest addition to the menu.
I didn't know that.
Fish Fridays, the soups during the wintertime, the 2 shirts, Chambers General Store. If they don't have it, you don't need it. And the Shroom Capital of the World shirts. But without further ado, again, thank you, Nadim. Mr. Chambers, take it away.
You've just watched another exciting episode of Dingo Talk, recorded in the secret lair deep in the hills of Bethany, West Virginia. Let me give a shout out to my man Don over at Maple Shade Outdoor. He's got some great stuff going on over there on YouTube and Instagram. Please make sure you check him out. Also, now available as promised, we have the 2nd edition Bethany, West Virginia Mushroom Capital of the World t-shirts and our Chambers General Store. If we don't have it, you don't need it t-shirts. Available in all sizes. So make sure you stop by the store for a t-shirt, breakfast sandwich, or sausage, biscuits, and gravy, and make sure to check out those daily lunch specials. Now back to you, Dingo.
You wanna know by now.